This tutorial on Unit Standard 26149 is designed to help you demonstrate that you have knowledge of licensing and the Code of Professional Conduct under the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. Before we start, grab your copy of the Real Estate Agents Authority Professional Conduct and Client Care Rules 2012, often referred to as the Code. You need to be aware, if a question asks for a rule, you need to refer to the Code, and if it asks about a section, it is referring to acts of legislation. The Code sets out the standards to which licensees must adhere. The purpose of these rules is defined under Category 3, and these rules work in conjunction with the Real Estate Agents Act. You need to be familiar with these rules because if a licensee breaches any one of them, clients and customers can lay a complaint with the REAA. There are 12 categories that form the Code. There are a couple of key ones that I want to mention as they form the basis of most complaints. Category 5 of the rule describes the standard of professional competence. It is very broad, but you need to understand the importance of ensuring that you adhere to the overall intent of it. Category 6 describes the required standard of professional conduct. This category has 4 rules that your behaviour must be consistent with. The first rule has a unique term that outlines your obligations to the client. The second rule covers off your dealings with clients and customers. The third rule is about industry integrity, and the fourth rule works in with the Fair Trading Act. All the rules are designed to protect both the client and the customer. Look at the contents page in the inside cover of your code and you'll see the other categories. Category 7 covers your duty to report misconduct or unsatisfactory conduct. You will need to know the difference between the two as outlined in Section 72 and 73 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. Category 8 covers the duties and obligations of agents and works with Section 50 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. Categories 9 through to 11 all relate to client and customer care and reinforces consumer protection acts such as the Fair Trading Act, especially Sections 9 and 14. Finally, Category 12 deals with information and procedures for the complaints process. Some categories have more than one subcategory. For example, Category 9 is about client and customer care. This has 4 subcategories, each covering off something different. Now we will look at agency agreement obligations. When entering an agency agreement, you need to ensure that the agency agreement is fully explained. Make sure you ask questions to uncover relevant information that the client is obliged to disclose to you. This is covered off in the Code and is also good risk management as it will ensure mutual transparency. An example of a question in relation to the disclosure of defects could be about an unpermitted conservatory. This may have been done by previous owners, in which case the conversation will be about disclosure. However, if the unpermitted work has been performed by the current owner, then you will need to explain to them their obligations under the warranty clauses in both the agency agreement and the sale and purchase agreement. Read the Code with regards to your obligations of disclosure to see what you should do if the client tells you not to tell the customer about something. Further obligations under Categories 9 and 10 of the Code relate to your obligations regarding the client's price expectation. It doesn't matter if it is with or without a price, anything spoken or written must be consistent with the client's expectation. Explaining conflicts of interest. This is covered off both in the Code and under Sections 134 to 137 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008. For example, selling to a relative, friend or someone that you have dealt with on a regular basis. Another example could be working with an investor that you sell with an undertaking that they will likely relist with you when it has been renovated. It can be done, but you need to familiarise yourself with the process as outlined in Section 3 of the Trainee Guide. Sections 127 and 133 of the Real Estate Agents Act are particularly important for residential licensees, and you need to comply with these requirements. There are different types of licenses. An agent's license means the agent has full responsibility for their salespeople and branch managers. They can sell land and undertake auctions by themselves. Section 48 of the Act defines an agent's license, and their responsibilities are also outlined in the Code. A company license is subject to criteria as explained under Section 36(3) and Section 44(2) of the Act. Branch manager's license means they can supervise salespeople and sell land by auctions on behalf of an agent. A salesperson's license allows salespeople to sell land and undertake auctions on behalf of an agent, but there are some restrictions for new salespeople and you need to be aware of them. Section 45 of the Real Estate Agents Act 2008 sets out the licensee's responsibilities with regards to producing evidence of a license, and Section 52 describes the renewal process for all licensees. Section 5 of the Trainee Guide explains all of this in more detail. Real Estate Agents Act 2008 covers off the complaints and discipline. Any consumer can make a complaint about a licensee to the Real Estate Agents Authority at no cost. Once the REAA receives a complaint, they refer it to the committee. The flowchart in Section 6 of the Trainee Guide shows the process. The key steps in this process are the CAC, or Complaints Assessment Committee, receives the complaint and investigates it. Then it determines how it will proceed. If it feels it is a case of unsatisfactory conduct, it may refer the parties to mediation or deal with the case itself. If it falls under misconduct, it will be referred to the disciplinary tribunal, which is the next level. Appeals. Appeals regarding CAC decisions go to the disciplinary tribunal, whereas the appeals for the disciplinary tribunal decisions are heard by the High Court. There is a flowchart on the portal that may help you. Section 6 of the Trainee Guide explains this in detail. In conclusion, make sure you've thoroughly familiarised yourself with the contents of the study guide, which should assist you in completing Unit Standard 26149. Thank you.